Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 360 Sports Show. We are coming to you live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Thank you for finding us here on a Monday night as we get you ready for Monday Night Football, a big matchup here tonight with plenty of playoff implications, and that is where we're going to start talking the NFL and the playoffs coming down the home stretch. You can reach us anytime in the comments section of any of the live streams or by email, the360sportshow@gmail.com. I am Randy Pizzelli. He is Christian Lauber. Christian, Happy New Year. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you since last year. So how are things? Did you mute yourself? Wow.
Am I muted?
Wow. It's been a while since we've had one of those.
I haven't done that since last year. So yeah, Happy New Year, and that's a good start. Here we are.
Here we are. New year.
New Year, same
Same
me.
us.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I want to start. We've got a bajillion NFL things to get into. Plenty of things on and off the field, or from on the field to off the field, that we will get into throughout the show, along with NBA and NHL things and a couple of other news and notes to round out the show. The biggest stories from the past week, as it were. But let's start with the NFL playoff picture, because a lot of things now really crystallized out of yesterday. So let's run down right now. These are the teams in the NFC and AFC who have clinched a spot. So right now, number one seed in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers, who last night just absolutely destroyed the Minnesota Vikings. So
Nice pick by you, by the way.
Hey, well, that was before Kirk Cousins was going to be out.
Oh, yeah, he's the difference. He's the difference.
I think it would have made a difference. I do think it would have made a difference. I think the game may have played out differently.
30-14, maybe.
Maybe 28-17. I don't know. But anyway, yes, Packers, clearly, they are in the driver's seat for the one seed and the bye. Also clinching, Rams, comeback victory for them over the Winds yesterday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we will get into quite a few things from that game. The Dallas Cowboys, despite looking, I called that one. We both picked the Cowboys, but we both said, I don't know, they seem to always have these big wins, and then they have a letdown the next week because they think they're going to the Super Bowl. They lose, but doesn't matter, they're in. The Cardinals, who beat said Cowboys, are in. They are right now in the 5 seed. The Eagles have clinched a playoff spot, and they will either be the 7 or the 6, because the lone teams left in the hunt are the Niners, who right now hold the 6 seed, and the Saints. So we'll have to see. Right now, obviously, the Niners in the driver's seat for that. So those are the two remaining teams. Everyone else eliminated in the NFC. AFC side, the Tennessee Titans, who have reinforcements coming in Derrick Henry, are the number 1 seed right now. The Kansas City Chiefs, who we'll get into their game, currently the 2 seed, even though them and the Titans are both 11-5. The Bengals clinched their playoff spot, 10-6. Then the Bills and the Patriots, both 10-6. Right now, the 4-5. They would be the wild card matchup. How crazy, how wild would that be? And then you've got Colts, Chargers in the hunt, with still the Raiders, Ravens, and Steelers on the bubble, looking for a spot. But really, it's probably going to be the Raiders and it's either going to be Raiders, Chargers, and then the Colts, because after tonight, whatever happens in this Steelers-Browns game is really going to decide and kind of sort out some of the math.
Yeah, Chargers Raiders play next weekend. Whoever wins that one goes in. So
Yeah.
that's a big game for those two. Coming down to the wire. I mean, they added a game at the end of the season, but still, it's still good theater at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, for it to be, even if the season ended today, it would be crazy to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I think these teams, where they are record-wise, it's very indicative of the year that we had in the NFL. I mean, yes, the Packers are 13-3, but like we've said, this is the same old story with them. 13-3 bye week, and then they could come poop themselves in the first round, or in the divisional round. The AFC, this is what we've seen. The AFC, every single team, you have question marks. You're not sure which team you're going to get from week to week. And a lot of that, I think, has been partly like the aggression of some of these coaches. They have both helped and hurt. Like, the Baltimore Ravens are 8-8. I think that they're better than an 8-8 football team, but maybe you aren't when your coaching staff puts games on the line unnecessarily. They could very well be 10-6 and like the number 3 seed. So they really put themselves in a bad spot. I can't believe that the Steelers are still alive. They're 7-7-1. So I guess they can be 9. They could be 9-7-1. Ugh, weird. What a weird record. I would love for them to tie the Browns tonight and just have a complete cluster, all the tie-breaking procedures. Because I think the Patriots and the Bills. Because what is the tiebreaker that is giving the Bills the advantage? Because they split
Division.
It's the divisional record.
Yeah.
So So because what are the Bills?
You lost to Miami already once.
So the Bills are undefeated in.
I want to say outside of the Patriots, they are undefeated.
Oh yeah, right, true. The one loss. So the full, you're right. And Patriots lost to the Bills and the Dolphins.
That Dolphins loss, guys, is gonna come back to haunt the Patriots.
Told you it would.
Did it
Gotta
though?
win next week.
Did it though? I mean, it's the difference of being at home or on the road. Maybe
one of those two games, the Saints, or who are clearly not that good, and the Dolphins. One of those two games should have been winnable. Just saying.
We'll debate that. For now, before we get into that, and the Patriots and a bunch of the storylines from some of these other games, Browns Steelers happening tonight. It really, I think, and we both picked. I picked. Did we both pick Pittsburgh? Let me check. We both picked Pittsburgh. In this game, I think it's like Ben Roethlisberger's last hurrah here.
Should be
home game. The Browns are just so broken.
It's gonna be Baker Mayfield's last game as a Brown as well.
Well, there's always next week, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Well, they're eliminated from playoff contention, I guess. So that's kind of where I'm at. They're not making the playoffs; they're eliminated. So
true. Yeah, they may play him tonight to spoil, and then next week say.
And then next week they're done.
We're done. I don't know. I still very much like Pittsburgh in this game, so I don't know if that's changed for you.
No, because the Browns don't have anything to win for. So I think it's all on Pittsburgh now, and I feel like they got to take care of business if they want a shot. I mean, it's going to take a lot, but they got a shot still.
The way this year's gone, crazier things have happened. So let's get into it. We'll keep you updated. Obviously, that game will kick off, I think, a little after 8. So we'll keep you up to date with the score and the happenings in that game as they unfold as we get along here in the evening. But let's talk about the Patriots-Jaguars, because that's what a lot of you want to get to. And I think, Christian, that yesterday was exactly what the Patriots needed. This is the Jets game 2.0. It wasn't about winning. It was about going out and establishing that you are a far superior team to a sucky team. I don't think it changes anything about the projection of where they'll wind up at the end of the year, but you feel better about them, I think, having some sort of shot. You clinch up a playoff spot, which I think was very important after the year you've had, having all those wins, to just get to the playoffs. You'll have that under your belt. And with the rookie quarterback in year one, I think it's kind of gravy from here. But yesterday, I think gives the encouragement that they are at least going to compete, hopefully, in a playoff game. If it had been a close game with the Jaguars, after the 2 losses you had, I think it would have been absolutely demoralizing around here. Like, if they won this game like they won the Texans game, it would have been, oh, God, whatever. So I'd say it's a good win. Obviously, 50 points on the board is good.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, look, I think it's kind of like a get-right game. I mean, they needed a game like this in terms of they're playing lesser competition. It's good to know that you're not in the bottom of the league. I mean, it's a good measuring stick to who you are. I think you're closer to the Bills than you are the Jaguars, if that matters to you at all. So that's good. And yeah, I know a lot of people say, like, well, they beat the Jaguars. Who cares? Well, it's also, here comes some positivity for you. You ready for this? I just think, like, the way they did it, I mean, it's like not many teams have beat the Jaguars 50-3 or whatever. So look, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not the most impressive thing I've ever seen. But it was good to dominate the team that clearly is just, they're done. I mean, they don't really care at this point. I think those guys are trying to escape this season without any injury.
1, 2, 3, Cancun. Yeah, I mean, in the NFL, I don't care who you're playing. You put up 50 points on the board. It's impressive. I mean, this isn't like basketball where you see a team, the better teams can just blow out. I mean, to put up 50 points and win by 40, I don't care who you're playing against in the NFL, that's impressive by the nature.
It's a mixed bag too. It wasn't just, okay, we're going to run the ball 40 times. It was a mixed bag. You got Harry out. Wilkerson steps in. He caught a couple of balls, already better than, as Nick says, he's better than N'Keal Barry.
Yeah, I don't know if he did that by accident and then corrected and said Harry. Christian Wilkerson, already better than N'Keal Barry. Leave it as N'Keal Barry. N'Keal Barry it is.
That's it.
N'Keal buried on the depth chart.
Pretty much, yep. But you still had, obviously Harris and Stevenson in the run game, as well as Mac Jones. He had a good game, as I think he should against teams like this. Like, he's a rookie, but the coaches got you up for, these type of games. You can clearly tell, like, for all my negativity the last 2 weeks, the Patriots are not a 16 team, 1-15 team. They're somewhere, in the upper third of the league.
Yeah, and
that's just where they are.
In this season, the way it's gone, now they're going to wind up kind of right where we both said, 11-7, 10-6, or right, 11-6, 10-7, somewhere around there.
I think I had them at 12 wins, but they easily could have had 12.
And they easily could have had 12. And I think maybe we misplaced the losses. Like, I know, like, I thought that they would be 2-0 heading into the Bucs game, or no, they would be 3-0. I said they'll start 4-0, and then they'll have a whole bunch of we both said lost to Tennessee. Maybe you split with Buffalo. The Jets or the Dolphins could get you once. There's always weird. We maybe said they lose the last game of the season. Still could happen. So I think nobody really predicted the path the right way. The end result is kind of going to be around what we expected. Yeah. But like I said, after the way it went down, you start 2-4, you start wondering, where's this season going? You went with Mac. Was that the right thing? If this is the way this year's going to go, do we have to readjust expectations? And then they win 7 in a row. And at that point and then you were in position for the number 1 seed, and you look at it and say, okay, well, now this team has to make the playoffs. And I'm just really glad that they locked that up yesterday, because having to go to Miami, if Miami had won yesterday, and regardless, I mean, the Dolphins spoiled the Patriots 2 years ago, and forced them out of the number 1 spot, at home. So the Dolphins, not afraid. Flores, not afraid to play spoiler. Not needing that win to get a playoff spot, I think was huge, because that would be a tough spot. And so now you can say, okay, we started poor. The team showed some resilience. They fought back. They've got enough to compete. We both are in agreement. They are not winning a Super Bowl without a lot of things breaking their way and a lot of guys maybe playing out of their minds. It's not impossible. You're in the tournament. Anything can happen. But more than likely, I just wanted to see them get in and now compete. It's good, I think, for Mac Jones, where he's now at in his development. get playoff experience. We thought maybe next year was when you competed
Yeah.
for the division. You wound up being a wild card team. We're gonna assume the Bills don't lose to the Jets next week. Okay, we're just gonna assume that.
Hey, they lost at halftime to the Falcons. So who knows?
That's true. Yeah, Josh Allen, week to week. I don't understand. You look like the MVP, and then you go out and you have a 14 passer rating. This is all gravy. This is all good. They are gonna get experience. They're gonna compete. They're the upstarts again now, which I think is good. And I think for the most part, expectations are kind of being realistic, and I'm happy that they're in.
Could have had more though. You always want more.
You do, but I think with a rookie quarterback, I think we have to look at it and say to be where they are. Look at the other team with a rookie quarterback right now.
Yeah. I mean,
we have to have the perspective of
you have to look at the coaching too.
Well, yeah, they lost Tom Brady and had one down year, which again, a fumble here, a goal line stand there. That team's in the playoffs last year. Like, as bad as that roster and that team was, and the quarterback play was.
COVID year.
So they turn it around and are right back in the playoffs. So, I mean, like I said, I think fans would hate it, but the rest of the NFL would honestly probably, the execs would probably love a Patriots-Buccaneers Super Bowl because, oh my God, the ratings.
That might be the highest rated game in history of the league.
Of sports.
Sports, yeah.
This is from Pete and Gansett. Such a big victory that Brian Hoyer got some quality reps late. Good to see. Looking way ahead. You're going to love this, Christian. Looking way ahead. Wonder if we might be seeing a future offensive coordinator someday when Bill steps aside and Josh M. steps up. How about even shorter term? What if Josh takes a job in this offseason? I mean, Hoyer, for all intents and purposes, like that was kind of why he was brought back, was to be a mentor to Mac because he could impart so much more of this offense and everything onto him than Cam Newton could or would want to. What do you think about that? Someday, Brian Hoyer, who's made $30-something million as a backup, but who Tom Brady has said he likes him, loved having him in the room as a guy who understands the game and especially their offense. Future offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. What do you say?
We're already into silly season, right? We can't even get to the playoffs. I'd rather have him be, if there's no backup to Mac Jones, I'd rather have him be a backup coach. I don't know how I feel about him being the offensive coordinator. I haven't seen him coach at all. I mean, he might be likable in the room, but does he know everything? I don't know. It's kind of
there's obviously
not. I mean, look, he knows the system, so it's completely plausible that it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't. I think there's a difference between player coach and just strictly offensive coach. I don't know if he could do that.
Yeah. I think it would be interesting. I mean, who knows? You never know what guy's actual ability to coach is. But, a guy who, tried to be a starter, obviously failed. He had that one good stretch with the Browns where it was like, wow, Brian Hoyer's playing really good. And then he tore up his knee. And then he never was successful as a starter ever again. But made a career as a backup. Like I said, $30-something million to basically hold a clipboard most of your career.
I'd do it.
That's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Bad.
Not bad. Yesterday, from the Patriots' perspective, one other thing is, like you said, the way it happened, it wasn't like one of these snowball games where it was like, okay, we score a touchdown, they fumble on the kickoff inside the 1-yard line, then they get pick six, then another block punt. The Patriots went 5 for 5 on their first 5 drives. That's touchdown, 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 touchdown. And defensively, stop. It was just domination.
Trevor Lawrence was throwing, more to the Patriots than he was the Jaguars. So
yes,
that helped.
This is from Colin. Biggest question, and we can, if you have any other Patriots questions, we'll circle back around. It's really not that much to break down. I mean, it was just a dominant game, but
we're kind of onto the playoffs at this point.
If you have any Patriots related questions, obviously we'll get to those at any point. So we'll get into this Jets-Bucks game. Biggest question from Colin. Can the Jets recapture whatever magic they had against the Bucks and bring it into the Bills game? That would be huge. I think I think
don't think so.
no. I think more than likely that was their shot. If they had won, yes, they would have been invigorated. There would be something that you could rationalize and say they could do that again, especially the way the Bills played down.
I think they could compete. They could compete, but also like the Jets are super magical until they're not, and then they lose. So I don't know.
Well, I was gonna say, but like, what heart are they gonna be playing with next week? You know what I mean? Like, I think that was the Super Bowl, like to beat Tom Brady, and then
I don't know, to beat like a Josh Allen led Buffalo Bills team that's high up in the division. I think there's some want there, and also look, I mean, I think the players that in some respect will always play the game. I don't think they're just gonna lay down and let a team beat them 15-0. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
So I think there's a chance they compete. Where is the game? Is it in New York? Because then it maybe becomes a different story. It's in Buffalo. Forget about it. But.
Let's see. I will double check for you right now. It is in Buffalo.
Yeah, forget about it. There's no magic in Buffalo.
I retract everything I just said. Yeah, I mean, I think where's the heart? I mean, I think yesterday Brady absolutely just ripped their hearts out. I mean, did you hear like the Bucks and the Jets radio calls of that? Like the Jets guys are honestly more excited because they were just witnessing greatness again, and it's been happening to them for 20-something years. Like, they're both just like, wow. Which it was, but we all saw it coming. And so for those of you that didn't see the sequence, I mean, the Jets were up that whole game, basically. Everything going. They're up 14 points late. Everything going their way. They're up 4 points, 2:17 to go. They're on the 2-yard line. Your options are, and we're going to get into this. Colin wants to get into it about all these sorts of, I know, Christian, this has been bugging you all year about when do you go for it? When do you not go for it? All these situations. Jets decide to go for it because they had made the Bucks burn their timeouts. If you get a first down, because it wasn't a goal to go, if you get a first down, 2 yards, game's over. You can knee it, game's over. If you kick a field goal there, you're up 7, nice, but you give Brady, or else Brady has 2 minutes and the length of the field to go. We've seen him do that before, more than enough time. So the Jets decide, you know what? We want to end the game on our terms, which I get. You're a 2 and whatever team.
Mm-hmm.
Go for the win. They go for a QB sneak.
Yeah.
It's like you need 2 yards. This is not like it's like, hey, it's inches. 2 full yards. A long 2. And you basically eliminate all options on a play by going an under center QB sneak.
Against the biggest front in the NFL.
Stiffest front in the NFL. Yeah, it's like, how about you do something like shotgun? Get Zach Wilson running. Maybe a run, pass, anything. Multiple options on a
roll
play.
Out, anything.
If you're going to go for it and actually just run a play. Nope. And what happens? Typical. Stuffed. So now Brady's got the ball. Down 4. 2 minutes to go. And what does he do? I swear his heartbeat didn't even get over 60 on that drive. Cool, calm, collected. 6 yards, 7 yards, out of bounds. 10 yards, spike. 15, 3 yards, incomplete. 15 yards, boom, 33-yard dagger with 20 seconds to go. I had to laugh because you knew it was going to happen.
The Jets are always going to jet at the end of the day. And also, like, imagine just Tom Brady leaves the Patriots. It's like everybody takes a sigh of relief, and then he comes back with Tampa, and he just, like, pantses you again. It's just like the beat goes on for Brady and torturing the AFC East, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I love they were cutting to the Jets, like, fans. And everybody's just like... It was marvelous. I think it was marvelous. Colin in the comment section. I also don't rule out the Texans pulling a surprise win against the Titans. They did it already this season. Do it for pride. Silly season for the win. Yeah, I mean, hey, honestly, anybody could. We'll do picks at the end of the show, so we'll get into all those matchups. Anything could happen in this week. I mean, it's really all bets are off. because you don't know who's really playing. If somebody's clinched a spot, how hard are they trying? Is Derrick Henry playing? Maybe, probably. Will they play him if they
wouldn't
don't
even
need
bother.
to? Probably not. There is one other thing that happened in this Bucks-Jets game. We're gonna save that for our hot and not segment. We all know what it is. We're gonna save it because there'll be some analysis and discussion. 2 questions, Christian. 1 week to go. Who is your MVP? Who's your Defensive Player of the Year? And who's your Rookie of the Year?
Oh man, MVP probably pains me. Aaron Rodgers, I think at this point. I just think he's been really good again in the regular season. So yeah, I'd go Aaron Rodgers there. He's been dealing with the foot. Off the field stuff, get out of my face with it. But like on the field, he's still very, very good. I mean, he's just incredible. Even on even with the foot injury, he's just incredible. Defensive Player of the Year, was that the next one?
Yep.
I remember rookie, but Defensive Player of the Year. Ooh, that's tough. Let me go Rookie of the Year first. I'm gonna go Rookie of the Year. I think it's got to be Jamar Chase. I think he and Mac Jones are right there, 1 and 2. But and I think they've both had ups and downs throughout the season. But Jamar Chase has been unreal. I think he's gonna have some type of rookie record, isn't he? And I just think he's just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, MVP is tough. It kind of shifted for a while. I think it really could be split. I think it could be close between Rodgers and Brady.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, you look at Brady. Brady's having like the second best season of his career statistically.
Just
44.
ridiculous. Yeah. And he's on his way to another, playoff run, and here we go. What is it going to be? Number 10?
It's so stupid. So
9,
I think him and Rodgers is close. And I think people said a couple weeks ago, if you asked about Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, you said, you know what, Mac Jones has got it. Unless Jamar Chase is like an absolute beast down the stretch. Well, I mean, yeah, if yesterday was any evidence, I mean, he has had an absolutely unreal close to the season, and it was basically part of, just single-handedly helping the Bengals beat the Chiefs yesterday. And I think since the MVP is just like so monotonously a quarterback award when it shouldn't be, it's not best. You can take your Offensive Player of the Year can be the guy who had the best.
Mm-hmm.
Value is something different. So I do think that they'll probably give it to Jamar Chase just because they just don't want to do all quarterbacks.
I mean, he's been a beast. So back to defensive real quick, and then I'll let you take over there. I would say 1 and 2 is probably Pete from Gansett there mentioned the guy that I had either 1 or 2. Take your pick, TJ Watt or Micah Parsons. I think those two are got to be in the conversation.
Yeah. Watt is tough because you're gonna
probably.
I don't
fall
know.
through here,
What's the history in terms of like guys getting that? If your team doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to actually look at it because I'm not sure. But it feels like to me that I feel like it's become maybe more of the norm in the last few years. I could be wrong on that, but I feel like maybe
JJ Watt has gotten it, and the Texans had some awful years.
And maybe I'm thinking of the NBA and stuff, but I don't know. I just think like at the end of the day, yeah, they didn't make the playoffs, but he's only one guy. I just think he makes such an impact that even if they don't make the playoffs, he still should be in the conversation.
Here's your last 10 years of Defensive Players of the Year. Terrell Suggs in 2011, they made an AFC Championship game. J.J. Watt in 2012 with the Texans, made the playoffs. Luke Kuechly, 2013 with the Panthers. I believe they made the playoffs that year.
Yeah, I think wasn't that their Super Bowl run?
No, that was 2015. That was 2015.
Oh, 15, okay.
Then J.J. Watt, back-to-back years in 2014 and 2015. 15 they made the playoffs. I don't remember if they did in 2014. Khalil Mack in 2016 with the Raiders. They may have not made the playoffs. We can Let's check on that.
That's a great question. I feel like they probably didn't, but Raiders in
Don't-
2016.
I don't think they did.
Oh, well, they finished second in the AFC West.
No, they
but-
did. They made a wild card
yeah.
game
12-4. Yeah.
against the Houston Texans. 27-14 loss. Oh, I remember that game now. Yeah. And then you've got Aaron Donald in 2017, Aaron Donald again in 2018, back-to-back years. Steph Gilmore in 2019, and last year Aaron Donald again 3 times. And they made the
2019
playoffs.
Patriots. Did they make the playoffs? They lost to Tennessee, right?
Yes.
They win the Super Bowl that year?
They did not. Made the playoffs though. So by and large, it's usually playoff teams, unless somebody has had, like Luke Kuechly. Let's check. We're checking. So let's
I
check.
feel like the Panthers there were good
2013
for a stretch. That was
Panthers
Cam
is-
Newton's year.
Well, 2015 was their big year. I can't like
I
remember
think they were in the mix though for a few years.
2013. They went 12-4. Okay, so they did make the playoffs. Let's see. What did they do? They lost to the 49ers 23-10 in the divisional round. At home, too.
Playoff maker though. That's what it seems like anyway.
No bueno. So, yeah. So, generally, got to be in the playoffs. So, that's why it may be hard for what? I would agree. I mean, Colin in the comment section says MVP is going to be Brady. Rodgers off the field stuff will hurt him in the race. Yeah, probably. I mean, there could be guys who just say, no way, ain't voting for that guy. Rookie of the year.
That shouldn't really be in the conversation.
It
though.
shouldn't, but we all know.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, we've seen it for years in MLB Hall of Fame and all that crap. Yeah, I mean, all the off-field stuff.
I got to give the Rookie of the Year to Chase. That young man is a beast. As you said, Pete and Gansett said Micah Parsons for Rookie of the Year. Colin brings another Defensive Player of the Year. Diggs in Dallas. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I think he's had a pretty damn good year for a rookie. So I'd put him up for maybe more in the conversation for Rookie of the Year. But Defensive Player of the Year, I feel like the other two have far outweighed his impact. I mean, he's got some picks, but I also feel like he's gotten torched a couple times I've seen. So...
Yeah,
For a
I mean,
rookie, though, he's very good for a rookie. I just think the other two are more impactful.
Yeah. What about Coach of the Year?
Bill Belichick, I think.
I think it has to be. That's not just homerism.
No. In reality, I think you look at what they've done over the last. I mean, look, they spent a lot of money, but to put it together here, you let the greatest player of all time go, who's still winning at a high level. It took about a year, right? 7-9, things go your way. You could be 9-7 that year, but the quarterback situation we know. But then back again this year, you're going to be 10-6, 11-6, whatever it is. They're on their way. 10-7, 11-6. I take that a year after being 7-9.
Especially, like I said earlier, the way they started, 2-4.
Sure, yeah.
That team, so many new guys, new culture, trying to build a new culture, rebuild the culture again. Patriots 3.0. Would have been really easy to see the team let go of the rope. And so the coaching is what holds that together.
Who would even be in the conversation for that? Like, who's next behind Bill?
That I was gonna say is, you look at it, what they've done is impressive, and really I can't see anyone else. There's nothing impressive. I mean,
I look at the coaches underneath.
Matt LaFleur, you're gonna have the best record in the league, maybe 14-3, but like,
yeah, but sure, but like this is why I say Coach of the Year is more aligned with Bill. He's got a rookie quarterback. He just brought in a whole bunch of roster turnover. The next guy down is probably, your next tier is Andy Reid. Well, he has Patrick Mahomes. Bruce Arians, he has Tom Brady.
Yeah.
LaFleur has Aaron Rodgers. So it's just like, I feel like you look at the whole picture, and yeah, maybe we sound like homers, but I just think in reality, you look at the year, I think Bill is Coach of the Year this year.
The only way I could see it not going his way is it's like Greg Popovich syndrome, where you could give it to him every single year, and so unless the years Bill's gotten it, has he only gotten it the 1 year? The 16-0 year? Is that the only year he's been coach of the year? Maybe 2010?
Maybe twice, but it's not like he's. Yeah, I mean, he could get it every year, right? But I just think you look at the whole picture again. Like they're coming off of a season where he's 7-9, trying to get the quarterback situation figured out, trying to fill out the roster, spend a bunch of money, put it all together, and you're 10-6, 10-7, 11-6. I mean, that's pretty good to come back from. We don't see it very often, especially with a rookie.
Let's see. Okay, Belichick got it in 2003. Forget about that. A long, long time ago.
Nice team he had there.
Yeah, 14-2. Won a Super Bowl. This is an interesting list here. So this is the last 20 years of coaches of the year. Dick Jauron with the Chicago Bears in 2001, 13-3. Then you go Andy Reid, Bill Belichick, Marty Schottenheimer with the Chargers in 04, Lovie Smith with the Bears, Sean Payton in 06, Belichick in 07. We all know why. Shocker. Mike Smith with the Atlanta Falcons. I think that was his first year in Atlanta too. So rookie head coach, coach of the year. And Matt Ryan's first year, 11-5. Marvin Lewis, coach of the year in 2009 with the Bengals.
This is coach of the year, not coach of the postseason. Don't forget.
Yeah, coach of the season, not of regular season coach. Okay, Belichick got it in 2010. That was the year. Again, that's kind of, if you've been watching Man in the Arena, Tom Brady talked about Patriots 2.0. Losing a lot of the key pieces of the dynasty year, having to rebuild, retool, and remake themselves. That team, so many young guys. Started 2-2, finished 14-2. Jim Harbaugh, Bruce Arians with the Colts when he was filling in for Chuck Pagano. Ron Rivera, Bruce Arians again, this time with the Cardinals. Ron Rivera again, this time with the Panthers. The year they went 15-1. Jason Garrett, 2016 with the Dallas Cowboys. Then Sean McVay, Matt Nagy, coach of the year with the Chicago Bears.
Yikes.
He'll be looking for a job soon. John Harbaugh in 2019, and then Kevin Stefanski last year with the Cleveland Browns, 11-5. So kind of looking at some of these other ones, like first or let me see, does the italicized part here mean rookie head coach? It might.
Sounds right. I mean,
italicized his first year head coach. So, are there any first year head coaches this year that are like on playoff team that have teams making the playoffs? That would basically be the only other thing. If a rookie head coach guided a team to the playoffs that maybe was down the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, we've seen it, right? I mean, I just feel like it's almost like comeback player of the year. It's like comeback coach of the year. I feel like we see this very often. I don't know. It just feels like especially when you look at some of the other names on the list in recent years. I think it's just because, and it's not just because of the name. I think you look at what the Patriots have done, which not many teams do. Alone without a rookie quarterback. Never mind when you just get a new quarterback on the team. So, bigger picture, like I said, I just think he kind of fits the bill, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I'm just double checking here. The Chargers, their head coach is a rookie, but I mean, they're going to be 10-7, maybe if they win and are in. Is that going to be good enough to say, well, rookie head coach, Justin Herbert, they made the playoffs after only winning like 4 games last year?
Well, we know you don't like if a team comes back. It doesn't really count for much if they come back and win more games than last year. So, for you, probably not, but for other people, maybe.
Yeah. So that's it. I mean, that's the competition here. I mean,
I agree. Yeah.
I don't think it stands up to, like you said, what Bill has accomplished with this team. Colin in the comments section, Sean McDermott, dude loses to the Pats and still doesn't let Bill Belichick beat him during the post-game press conference. Coach of the year.
Tool of the year.
Yeah.
One of many, but Yeah. No
Uh,
thanks.
Goodness. Somebody brought it up. I think Nick brought it up a little earlier ago. Jalen Hurts nearly died yesterday. Let's talk
Yes.
about that briefly. Have you seen the video of this, the post
Oh,
game?
I've seen it from a few different angles. Yeah.
So the Eagles Washington game was concluded. Jalen Hurts is headed off the field, and there's fans like leaning over the railing, looking for high fives, and the entire railing just fall and like a side of the tunnel there falls away, and like 6 or 7 fans come falling a good, I don't know, probably 8-9 feet down onto concrete. In front of Hurts. Now, luckily, he was kind of like already looking, and it started to fall, and he like moved to his right, and it fell down in front of him. But dangerous for him, dangerous for the fans.
Yeah.
But then the greatest part is these people, luckily, they're okay. They just pop right on up. Hurts is helping them up, and these guys are all like, cool.
Eagles fans, right?
Yeah. Selfie time. My boy
I mean,
Jalen.
to be fair, when they won the Super Bowl, they were falling off awnings and stuff, so they're used to this type of environment. But I mean, I'll tell you what, it's pretty lucky, right? Because
Very lucky.
that thing like snapped right over the edge. Hurts was right there. If he wasn't paying attention, I mean, he could have gotten toppled pretty badly.
Let's see. I'll try and find a copy of the video here for us to show on the live stream.
And when you're not expecting something like that, you're not just gonna like, oh, I get hit in the head and I'll be fine. No, it was like a full barricade off the side of the bleachers. So
Oh yeah, this is a great goodness. This is a great angle. This is from Albert Breer. So let's for the live viewers, you'll get to see this, and we'll tweet it out at 360 Sports Show for our podcast listeners if they want to go give it a gander. So let's I'll hide this caption here, so you can see it fine. All right, here we go. Let it roll. So they're all leaning over, and Darcy blows.
if he was like one step to his left, oof, that's not
But
good.
I'm amazed that everyone's okay.
I know, yeah.
And they all just pop up, and credit to him for being, like, composed and,
Yeah.
like, getting everybody in. I mean, there has to be also, I mean, alcohol and adrenaline. All those people definitely felt that later. Like, that guy right there. The guy who hurts first grabs. How, like, his head.
Oh
I mean,
yeah.
just watch this again. I mean, these guys
Well,
are
they're already
falling.
leaning,
I
right?
believe that's the concrete, or maybe that is padded there. That might be padded, but still,
I mean,
that's
even so.
that's a little bit of padding on top of concrete. I'm mesmerized
I
that
mean, this looks like something out of WWE.
it does. Also, I mean, evidently the Eagles fans said afterwards that like nobody from the Washington game management, nobody like tried to help or see if they were okay. No team officials checked on them, wanted to see what was what, if anything. Like,
Yeah.
what a horrid stadium.
That goes right up top to the owner there, you know?
Do boom. Man, I could just keep watching this over and over again
I think
because
it's time for Washington, the football team, to upgrade their little their barrier there, their guardrail.
one more time. And how he doesn't get hit. How he doesn't get hit because he's right in the middle and just somehow doesn't get hit and moves
Good thing
away.
he was right in the middle.
Unreal. Let me make sure we'll tweet that out at 360 Sports Show. If you're one of our podcast listeners and you want to see, you can go check it out there. So anyway, there goes a glass of water.
Already fell.
Party foul.
Take a shot.
Opa. Hydrate to stay in the game. Oh no. That's why you laminate your press badges, folks.
Nice.
Um,
Wicked local.
wicked. Time for hot and not. The already not is me being able to keep a glass of water.
I was gonna say, you just took over the spot.
I just took it over. We already know. We probably know. We probably have a sense of what this not section is going to look like.
Yeah, why,
So
why don't we just rapid fire the hot? You go first.
let's
I'll
start
go
with the hot.
second,
My hot,
and then we'll tackle
My
the
man-
not.
my man, Jaylen Brown. Absolute beast yesterday. Now, the Celtics only play, they had to play overtime, so that's like 5 minutes. They played 9 minutes out of 53 minutes of basketball yesterday. An absolutely abysmal game against the Orlando Magic. They're down 14 at 4 minutes to go. Jaylen Brown decides to go absolutely nuts. Helped them close the game. Helped them win in overtime. 50 burger. Patriots scored 50. He said, you know what? That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to score 52. Absolute monster performance. Anybody, again, we've said this before. We'll get into this later on when we talk some Celtic stuff. The people who want to trade Jaylen Brown for Ben Simmons, please. I saw a whole bunch of people tweeting after the game. If Philly isn't interested in trading Ben Simmons for Jaylen Brown, I don't know what's wrong with them. It's like, if Philly isn't interested, why would the Celtics be interested in that?
Also, aren't all the reports that Philly is interested and the Celtics aren't? So what are we doing here?
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on about that. But anyway, the point stands. Jaylen Brown, hot yesterday. So, on to you, Christian.
On the hot. I'm going Cincinnati. Take your pick. Now, I think they got some help at the end of the game. Stupid decisions led to a penalty, and it's just an absolute cluster F at the end of that game. But regardless, Jamar Chase, take your pick. Joe Burrow. Beating the Chiefs is no small task. But I'm just going to go Jamar Chase because, he had, let me just get the numbers real quick. He's just absolutely ridiculous yesterday. He had like over 200 yards, 11 catches, and just, you want to talk about hot. Jamar Chase was very hot yesterday. 11 catches, 266 yards, 3 touchdowns against the Chiefs, and they win the game 34-31.
Yeah. Real quickly here, what did you think about that whole? So, for those that didn't see, same kind of deal like what the Jets were in. All these late. They had 4th and goal, tie game with a minute to go. Chiefs have no timeouts. Kick a field goal, go up 3, kick off. You're trying to just hold the Chiefs to a field goal to get to overtime. They decide to go for a touchdown. They don't get it. There's offsetting penalties, so now it's like, okay, maybe we kind of got a reprieve here. Maybe we should just kick the field goal and kick off. Nope. They want to go for it again. And also they had been doing all these crazy defunct, they were like not trying to score on their 1st and 2nd down, and then they tried to score on 3rd. Then Burrow gets hurt. Yeah. So they ended up having, after all of those other things, having to bring in a backup quarterback to, take a QB kneel because the Chiefs dum-dums on the 4th down play in the end zone got called for a penalty. So you got a 1st down, move the ball a half inch, and fresh set of downs, game over. But you have to have a rookie, a backup quarterback who hasn't seen a snap all game.
I thought for sure he was going to take a knee.
I thought he was going to.
Sure.
Oh, on the second one when he was supposed to spike it.
I thought for sure he was going to take a knee.
Just screws up. Wait, no.
I was kind of hoping for it because at that point I was just like, you know what? Just let this game go to overtime. The Bengals screwed this up and got lucky on. I think it was a defensive holding call that gave them like 4 downs again. It's just like I hate the way the game ended, but ultimately they won the game. I don't know.
Yeah. No, a couple of years ago, Jay Cutler with the Bears did he got the ball and he wanted to take a second before spiking it, but you can't do that. And he for whatever reason, he kind of pump faked the spike.
Yeah.
And then spiked
ran back.
And everyone was like, that is an incomplete pass. And it's intentional grounding. So.
Doofus.
You lose.
Yeah, I thought for sure they brought this guy in, backup quarterback, and I'm just like, he's going to take 2 knees here and lose again. They're going to go to overtime.
Yeah.
That would have been my not. Second, well, I couldn't have changed it, but that would have been, AB 1-2 here for the not.
Yeah. So here we go. The not. The naughtiest not of the week. Maybe, Christian, I dare say.
I think the NFL season.
The naughtiest not of the year.
Definitely of the year. Yes, definitely of the year.
there are many different sides to this, and we're talking about the Antonio Brown incident from yesterday, where what we know now is that he was dressed for the game, cleared to play in the game, played in
And then
the
he
game,
got undressed during the game.
and apparently Bruce Arians wanted him to go onto the field. And he said no. And he said, well, you need to go onto the field. You're the player. Go onto the field. And he said no. And so I guess Bruce Arians said, well, then get off my sideline. And so that's what Antonio Brown did. Now, I haven't seen Bruce Arians say that. I haven't seen any definitive full-on report about that. But that's the latest iteration. Some people said that AB was mad that he wasn't playing because he has incentives in his contract. Guess what? He had a whole nother game and some very easy incentives to reach. And guess what? That argument is totally out the window if Bruce Arians says that he told Antonio Brown to go into the game and he refused, and so then he stormed off the field. That flies in the face of that argument that Antonio Brown was mad about playing time.
Yeah, no, he was. I think it was because of his ankle, but regardless, like you played some of the game, right? You're getting torched by the Jets, so you're probably pissed off as it is. But like, coach tells you to go in the game, you can't because your ankle hurts, but then you're dancing on the sideline, taking your clothes off and running out.
Well, that's the other part of it. If a guy's actually hurt, then yeah, like we've seen some coaches get. I mean, I think Case Keenum a few years ago, it was like he was totally unconscious on the field, and they kept peeling him off and sticking him back in. It's like, is somebody gonna stop this? Like, why is this guy being put back out there?
Yeah.
If Antonio Brown was actually hobbled, yeah, no, he wouldn't be in the game, and there would be no need for a temper tantrum. He looked fine because he proceeded to take his shoulder pads off, huck them at the bench, take his gloves off, huck those into the stands, do some jumping jacks up through the end zone.
Take off his undershirt for whatever
Take off
reason.
his undershirt. Woo! Hype up the Jets fans, and then run into the tunnel.
With a peace sign.
And evidently went up to some police officers and asked for a ride to the airport. They said, no, you have no clothes and no identification. You're going to need to find another way to get to the airport. And
Uber.
Evidently he Ubered. Photographic evidence of that.
Video evidence.
Video evidence of that. Also, stadium security almost went out and tackled him because they thought he was like a drunk fan. How great would that have been?
That would have been the hot and the not.
Oh God. I don't know. There's some people saying this is not a mental health thing. He's just mad about the playing time thing. I think that's kind of been debunked. I think the guy clearly. I think the guy is an a-hole, but I think he's also got some serious issues, something wrong. Like, it was equal parts hilarious and scary and sad because you see a guy with so much potential just the vax card thing. One, just get vaccinated. But two, all right, fine, you lied about it. Somebody that wants to out you because you're not paying them for catering like your dinner, and so you don't want to pay a guy, so that's why he outs you. It's the behavior is just insane. And then that yesterday, never slap shot. That's the only time I've ever seen that happen. Is in a movie, not in a real game. I've never seen anything like that. I think the man needs help. I hope he gets it. You would think this is the last time. You know, if Tom Brady can't save you, nobody will. But you never know. This league is nuts. If somebody, they still haven't officially cut him.
But he gone though.
He gone. I'd want to say that's probably the last we've seen of Antonio Brown, but you never know.
Who the hell knows? Yeah, I mean, we don't know for sure, obviously. But here's what I'll say: I think it's weird that people are taking this stand all of a sudden that he's mad about playing time. No, I mean, do we just forget about the past 8 years of this guy's career on and off the field? I mean, he's kind of a notorious jackass. I mean, let's just say it like it is. And I think he does need some help. I don't know if it's because of, I don't know, concussion history, if he's just had some issues off the field. I don't know what it is, but you can say hopefully he gets the help that he needs if that is indeed the case. but also it's just like the weird defense of Antonio Brown all of a sudden that like he is mad about playing time and he has a right to be. Like I just disagree. I mean I've seen this before with this same guy. He's pissed at everybody else, but not kind of looking at himself. It's like Ben Roethlisberger's fault on whatever to the Steelers. Then he goes to the Raiders and gets himself off that team to go to the New England. Then all this stuff off the field comes out, and now he's with Tampa, and he bounces from team to team for the same reasons.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. I want to find a video of the incident to put up. There's already. Oh my God, the memes were fantastic.
Oh yeah,
of the entire incident.
As they usually are.
Here we go.
The situation is not overly funny because I think it's actually like I think he actually needs to do something to kind of change the way he is right now. I don't know.
Well, like you said, it's a number of here's one angle. I mean, Mike Evans tries to calm him down, and then he just proceeds to lose his mind. The thing is, though, it's like we all kind of know, like we're seeing CTE play out in real time. I mean, he hasn't been the same since that Vontaze Burfict hit. It really hasn't. You can trace it back to that. And I think that was 2015 in the playoffs versus the Bengals.
He's had some altercations off the field, but like
but it's only gotten worse.
Exactly, yeah. And I think since that hit, I don't know if that plays into it, whatever percentage you want to put on it, but it's got to be somewhere in there. I mean, like getting hit like that, and he's just had problems off the field previously. It's kind of same old story. I don't know.
Well, honestly, again, there he goes. I've never seen anything like that ever.
Right.
Except in a movie. And I'm honestly, it's a miracle that he made it this far. I mean, we all thought something not like this, but that he would pull one of these stunts, you know, hit a coach, show up late, decide he's not playing, freeze his foot. I mean, something was going to happen last year. It's a miracle that it didn't, and that they got through.
Was something on his YouTube channel about how he's talking crap about the owner? Yeah, something.
Yeah, it's a miracle that they got through last year, and they had him, and he won a Super Bowl, integral piece.
Yeah, especially in the playoffs. Yeah,
and so it was honestly a miracle that he made it this far with them, and. You know, if like I said, if Tom Brady giving you his personal attention can't save you, I don't know who can. In the comment section, Pete Gansett said, sadly, looks like a guy who really needs some help. Colin says, I cannot imagine Arians saying to someone to play or leave before immediately getting the player checked out with training/medical staff first. I mean, who knows? That's something I've heard now a couple places. It could be one of those, like, he says, go in the game. And Antonio Brown's like, no, I'm not going in the game. Like, my ankle hurts. And a coach just being like, well, then get out of here. And he was like, you know, just like that. And Antonio Brown was like, okay, well, I'll leave. Colin also says, Brady said to AB, sorry, I need to use the magic powers that have been keeping you sane to win this game. I can't lose to the Jets. Yes. That is it. That is the best one so far. I mean, basically that's what happened. You know.
Like Space Jam, he took the ball and took all his powers away. That's it.
That's fantastic. Gabby in the comment section, truly, it's honestly not even surprising. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, is the minute you saw it like starting to happen, anybody in that stadium was probably watching that happen, and then I'm amazed we don't have more camera footage. Maybe it's just because everyone was dumbfounded. Like,
yeah, honestly.
Wait, is this actually happening? What's happening? The thing is, too, you know, she says it's not even surprising. Look at the reaction of the other Bucs players. They're, like, not even phased. Mm-hmm. They're just like, oh, Antonio, okay. All right.
I just think especially on the far side of the field, I haven't seen one angle from over there. I think it's just because they were all drunk and enjoying his walk off. I think that's literally what it was. You look at all
Yeah.
the Jets fans; they're like cheering him and waving by, and it's just what a scene. I don't know.
Yeah, they were high on life too. They thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah, until they didn't.
Sorry, I need to use the magic powers that have been keeping you sane to win this game.
Can't lose to the Jets.
That is an all-time line. That is fantastic. Goodness. Yeah, so that is the whole, that might be, we keep thinking that something is going to be the knot of the year. And we kind of keep one-upping ourselves. I mean, before this incident, I was going to have the Kevin Porter Jr. Christian Wood incident in Houston. Almost the same thing. These guys got called out at halftime by their coach and assistant John Lucas for their play. And, they said they're having a bad year. And the head coach was like, listen, I know we're having a bad year, but I want to see effort out of our guys. We're trying. And they obviously didn't like a little tough love at halftime. And so Christian Wood refused to enter the game. Like, he came in, played like 5 listless minutes, got subbed out, and got a talking to, and then just refused to come back in. Said, no, I don't want to play. And Porter Jr. evidently threw something at a coach and is suspended. So obviously a great situation in Houston right now. They're going in the right direction. But that is that's what you usually see. Guys pout, guys have, blow up. You never see guys just strip off their clothes and run out of the stadium.
I don't even know what to say anymore. I
Something new every week.
I can't. Yeah, I want to say it's not that surprising because of who it is, but at the same time, I was like, well, I've never seen it before.
Yeah, like I said, in Slapshot, it's the only time
He
I've
just
ever
starts
seen
throwing
it.
his garments into the stands and just walks off.
So, anywho, like I said, Adam Schefter said today that as of they did not waive him or release him as of today. Maybe because and he said that they're in touch with the league. Maybe because there's going to be something they're going to try and recoup some money or something. There could be more to it that they want to try and work out instead of just saying cut you, goodbye. We'll see. Nick also says, I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier with it being AB. Yeah, that's the thing. That is the funny and the sad thing at the same time. None of us are surprised. Hopefully, I was just surprised. I was waiting for the IG Live all last night. I was waiting for the IG Live. I was waiting for somebody to find him just wandering around New York. Somebody had the Google Maps thing. Hey guys, it's a 16-day walk back to Tampa.
He released a song on his spot. I didn't listen to any of it, but he whatever. I can't do it.
Yeah,
he released some song on Spotify right after he walked out of the building. It's just did he already have it pre-planned or something? I don't know. It's just he's kind of wacky. I don't know.
Yeah, him, Kanye, Kyrie, kind of all part of the same.
They're worldly beings.
Yeah. They're all just misunderstood, Christian.
According to themselves.
We just can't understand. We just can't grasp their
Sure,
greatness.
yeah, I'm not an intellectual on that level.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of an idiot, actually. That's why I'm here.
Speaking of Kyrie, he'll be making his return Wednesday, maybe, who knows, for the Brooklyn Nets on the road. Can't play at home. So let's talk a little NBA. I brought him up in the hot. Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics.
Please stop doing that.
Doing what?
Continue. Go ahead.
Hot. Jaylen Brown and the Boston Celtics. Obviously, JB carrying the load. I think Nick had it earlier that he's surprised Jaylen isn't out for the next game with a back injury after carrying the Celtics.
Well, we don't
night.
know yet.
Yeah,
is he on the injury report today?
Yeah, we'd have to check. So they have been kind of treading water here. They've had some big wins with this kind of mishmash lineup. I mean, they have some guys in one night and then guys out the next night, and back and forth they go. I mean, no Rob Williams, no Jason Tatum yesterday. And, you play an awful game, but, hey, down 14, Jaylen Brown goes God mode. You'll take it. I mean, it's better, better to have that win than what that loss was going to be.
Yeah. Why are we needing Super Saiyan Jaylen Brown to carry us against the Orlando Magic though? That's the real question.
Well, I think it's tough to try and judge. I agree. You shouldn't, but you also should.
7-30 team.
You also should have Jason Tatum and Rob Williams and other guys kind of like trying. Now you have guys trying to work their way back into the lineup after being out for 5 games. Like,
sure.
I find it difficult to try and judge any of these wins and losses right now in the NBA because of all the shuffling. So I like they beat the Suns. That was awesome. They also
nobody was really out of that game.
No, but then you follow it up like you shoot what, or the game before they shot what 4 for 41 from 3,
ridiculous, yeah,
against the hobbled Clippers. So it's very Jekyll and Hyde. We're like 2 weeks away from trade stuff really heating up. Right now, where are we with this team? Does any of this last like week and a half? You're beating the Suns. Jaylen seemingly coming back from injury and really coming on. You're going to get Tatum back. You hope they can have their actual, what they want to be their lineup out there. Does this have the feeling of, they haven't had their shot all year and they're just going to say, well, we're just rolling with this team, or it doesn't matter. They still need to make changes no matter how well they're playing in the coming weeks?
No, they got to make changes. I just because they beat the Suns and the Magic. The Suns is a good win, but also like I've seen this Jekyll and Hyde thing from this team for 2-3 years now. They're gonna win against the Suns, and then they're gonna lose to the Cavs and the Magic and whoever else in a row, and then it's like, okay, well now you're sub 500 again. I mean, at the end of the day, they're still 18-19. They're in like the play-in tournament. They should be better than that. So, from what I've seen this year, it feels a lot like last year, or the year before that. So there comes a time where you need a shakeup, and I think you're not just making a move like let's get rid of Mo Wagner and get Enes Kanter, and that's our move. No, you need something more substantial in the middle of the lineup. So it's not Brown and it's not Tatum. So go wherever else you want.
Yep. Yeah, I still think there's a shakeup coming because I don't think Brad Stevens has Danny Ainge fever where he's just like, well, the team's playing well at the trade deadline, so let's just keep it together. Like, no. I think Brad probably understood that they were hedging, and they signed Marcus and Rob Williams to extensions in August when they were probably able to get those guys on what are very favorable deals, and they're totally still tradable. And if they want to move those guys or other guys or Schroeder, and it's all up in the air. I definitely think Brad seems to be the type that's going to get creative and is willing to deal. If they do nothing, I honestly will be very surprised. I know in years past we've said if they do something, we'll be stunned. I think if they do nothing, and just stay pat, even if it's just one of these, like you said, minor moves, like, oh, we're swapping out Enes Kanter for Al-Farouq Aminu. Like,
yeah,
that's not moving the needle. I think there's going to be a move the needle type trade. Whether they get something back directly this year or whether it's just to get a pick and get something for somebody.
Let's push it down a couple more years. We don't want to win yet.
Well, what I mean is, like, if they decide to trade Marcus Smart to a playoff team who gives them like 3 picks and a prospect, like,
sure, right?
That's what I'm saying. Getting rid of. I expect somebody that's a substantial name on this team to be moved. Other than Tatum and Brown, I don't think either of those guys is going anywhere. I think you could see anybody else on this roster be traded.
I have my doubts, but we'll see. It's not Danny Ainge, but I think it's the same old Celtics. I'm not so sure that's going to happen yet.
On another note, just a note on it. Josh Giddey, youngest player in NBA history with a triple-double. Very impressive. And I just think this is just kind of more the trend. I mean, these guys coming in younger and younger and being ready. I think it's just part of the conditioning, the way these guys are brought up. I mean, from a young age, and the competitiveness, and college is basically just used as a jumping point. You know, guys aren't going there to develop. A lot of these guys are developed, ready to go when they come in, which is why we talked about, will Steph Curry's record ever be broken? Yes, because there's going to be guys who come into the league already elite shooters and are going to get to shoot 30 threes a game for their entire careers for maybe like 20 years.
Right.
So Josh Giddey, really impressive. I think it's really, I feel like rookies are getting better and better every year. It doesn't necessarily translate to winning, just the individual performances, I feel like, get better and better every year. And that's just the way the league's going. So
Welcome to the NBA.
welcome to the NBA. Few other little things. I just saw this come across my timeline, Christian. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. This is from Andrew Marchand. Some Major League Baseball news. MLB Network has cut ties with Ken Rosenthal over Rob Manfred criticism. What a joke. One of like the best baseball insiders. And he criticizes the commissioner. And, nope, got to get rid of you.
I think you just said it best. That's kind of a joke. I mean, what are we doing? Like, Ken Rosenthal's been in the game for how long? Pretty respected guy, pretty good at his job as well, I might add. And because he questions the commissioner, who kind of sucks, he gets let go. Stupid.
Absolutely.
I guess that's what comes with power in the MLB, right? You just tell your network that that guy said something mean about me, so I don't want him on your team anymore.
Yeah. Ugh.
That's silly.
It's such a shame. Such a shame.
He'll have a job like that. You watch. I mean, the guy is how respected is he? He's in the upper echelon of MLB guys in the entire league. So hopefully he gets a quick turnaround here. Someone will give it to him.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Things like this happen, and that's how like other networks start up, or he'll go start his own thing, and that's where everybody's gonna go.
Just utterly ridiculous. So that's what we're doing now. Guy can't have an opinion, so he's gone. Right?
Yep. Hey.
Awesome.
It's just more of the problems with baseball.
Let's just ruin a guy's livelihood because he said something mean about me, Mr. Manfred.
Well, hey, this is what's happening with John Gruden, right? He's suing Roger Goodell and the NFL. That'll be fun. That's this type of stuff. That'll be good off-season material.
Yeah.
Delve into some Second Circuit Court of Appeals.
Here's the bigger question for Manfred. Instead of worrying about Ken Rosenthal and his criticisms of you, why don't you fix your effing sport, dude?
Yeah.
It's in the crapper for a reason, and you're in the middle of a lockout. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, clearly, this is important. Drawing lines in the sand with reporters.
Network, you better get rid of him. Never mind my lockout going on, and my sport is kind of, I don't know, trending down for the last 5 years.
5.
Just great. This is high priority.
Yeah. So, lots of good news. Colin in the comment section, I think he was circling back to the Bucks. Bucks totally want their money back. Sorry, that's not happening. When your coach is basically on record that he's a flight risk, and the only reason you signed him was pressure from your quarterback.
True. Yeah.
And then he said, didn't watch the Celtics game to see Brown shine. My favorite Celtic. I did see the box score, and I'm happy for him. I'm boycotting the Celtics, which I've never done. Wake me up February 10th. And he says, amen, Christian, talking about Rob Manfred. And that absolute garbage. So Ken will land on his feet somewhere. And wherever he does, that network or whatever, whatever thing he's doing will be successful. He will find more success than Rob Manfred. Period. End of story.
I think he already has.
Another thing I wanted to get your thoughts on, Christian, just jumping from commissioners making news to commissioners making news. Gary Bettman trying to petition the IOC to have hockey be part of the Summer Olympics. What are your thoughts?
I'm all in. I don't mind it. I would rather them in the Winter Olympics, but hey, if you can get one, the other, or both, I'm all for it. Give me more hockey. I mean, I like the sport, so and especially if I mean, I have some thoughts on whether they should be going this year, but ultimately, I think the players make those decisions. But in this case, give me more hockey. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even going to go the Gary Bettman way. I think this is fine, but he's kind of a tool too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think certainly there's got to be support from the players for this because they all
100%.
want to play. I think they would rather play in the summer when it's quote unquote their off season, as opposed to breaking up their regular season, and taking that time off. Now, granted, it's once every 4 years too. So hey, once every 4 summers, we're traveling to some remote, exotic location. Maybe to which the Summer Olympics.
Who knows?
You're going to be at least probably going to some nice, at least places you could probably be outside.
Oh yeah.
Winter Olympics, you're going, where are you? You're in Torino in February. You're in Vancouver. You're in Korea, in the mountains in Korea. You're in Russia. Summer Olympics, hey, Rio de Janeiro. It's a little bit, it's probably
a little more tropical, maybe some warmth.
Yeah, I think these guys might enjoy it. Now, it would bring in tons of questions about, ice surface. Like, imagine trying to, maintain an ice surface in a maybe borderline third world country.
Well, I'll tell you what, they can't maintain one in TD Garden in the winter, so I don't think they're maintaining one out there. Yeah.
So that is going to be one of the things you'd have to take into account. Is like, okay, we're constructing an Olympic Village and facilities. Building a hockey rink, I mean, I don't think they would just build one. Because a lot of times they try to,
depends where it is.
they try to say, okay, we are building things that will then have some sort of functionality afterwards. Now, unfortunately, that's not always the case. Look at what happened in Beijing. That 2008, that great Olympic, that whole thing, basically it's, retaken by Mother Nature,
Right.
and just abandoned, ghost town, which is unfortunate. I know, in the States, when they've had them, these facilities get repurposed and reused. If Boston was going to have the Olympics, they were going to turn whatever that Olympic stadium is, was going to become the New England Patriots' new home.
Right.
And the Revs were going to keep Gillette Stadium. That was the plan. Doing something like that. Building a functioning hockey rink is not,
that's not a walk in the park.
it's not a walk in the park. That's not just
No.
we just need a venue with a field and stands.
Right.
There's a lot of infrastructure, and if you're somewhere that's doesn't have hockey, how do you make that so that it's something that can be used afterwards? There'd be tons of logistical
You have
questions.
to get a snow globe out there.
Yeah, but I would like it because we'd get to see the product. The product this year is not going to be the same. Now, some people are split. I mean, I think some people have wanted to see the United States go back to using just amateurs because it's more exciting. Hey, maybe you won't just be the best in the world. You're not going to win gold or silver every single year. But it'll be more compelling to watch high school and college kids go out there and lay it all on the line for their country than professional players. I don't know
Yes and no.
how you'd feel about it.
I think it's fine to see the younger players, but I think you got to give these guys that are playing at the top level of the NHL, if they want to represent their country, I think that's kind of their decision. I think you have to kind of let the players decide that. Guys like McAvoy, who's young, or name another player. All these guys that went over there and did it way back when things were more normal, like Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, all these guys, Sidney Crosby, they all wanted to do it. So I don't know. Ultimately, I think the high level NHL player, if they want to go represent their country and play in the Olympics, they should be more than allowed to do that.
Yeah. No score. Steelers Browns late first quarter. Nothing.
Sounds like a snooze.
snoozer. So that is the story with that right now. Quick hitter just on, did you get to watch much? I mean, hey, it was a good weekend for football if you just wanted to sit down and relax. Did you get to watch much college football on Saturday?
Yeah, I actually was sitting down most of the day because, New Year's Day, food, drinks, hanging out with my parents, and my dad had it on. So I did watch two games. Which ones were they? Ohio State and the Utes, I think is if I have that right.
Yeah.
And then there was one more, but I forget. But that game was just ridiculous. We were watching that game. First half, I think there was about 4 or 5 scores in a matter of 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Ultimately, of course, Ohio State, here they come. They won again. Yippee. I was hoping for Utah, but a wild game nonetheless. And I think they had a record in that, 200-something yards by the wide receiver there, young kid.
Yeah, Jackson Smith Njigba, I think is how you say his
Yep.
last name. Unreal performance. For like 15 catches for 257 yards, I think?
Somewhere in that range. He also was like, I don't think he's like a big name, but I think they had a couple guys out. And so I think he got more of an opportunity in the game.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Christian. I was off by a little bit. 15 catches, 3 touchdowns for 347 yards.
Nice. Yeah.
Good God.
I mean, the game was wild. I don't know if you saw most of it, any of it, but the second quarter, there was like, I would go to the kitchen and there would be 14 points on the board in a matter of like 30 seconds. It was wild.
I watched the second and then the rest of the game, second quarter, rest of that game. And yeah, I was rooting for Utah, but like you just felt it was like this just slowly bleeding away.
Oh, yeah.
And then their quarterback got hurt. Absolutely had his brain scrambled on a play, getting sacked as he got rid of the ball. And so they had the like freshman have to come in who hadn't seen a down all year, and he goes 3 and out, which then lets Ohio go down and take the lead. But then I gave that kid credit. He came back in. I gotta find his name. I can't just say kid. But came back and led them on Utah on a touchdown drive to tie the game. Unfortunately, a little too much time left on the clock for Ohio State, and so they go down and they win the game. Bryson Barnes, yeah. So came out and they went 3 and out to give the ball back to Ohio. They lose the lead, and then he goes 2 for 2, 23 yards and a touchdown on their final drive.
Ready? Check this out. Second quarter. I had to bring this up. So in the second quarter, there was one touchdown with 14-17 left. And then if you just look down the score sheet in the second quarter, it's touchdown 907, touchdown 832, touchdown 817, touchdown 802, touchdown 624.
Yeah.
Just literally in a matter of 2 minutes and 30 seconds, there was about 21 points on the board for each team.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I mean, the game ended, what, like 48-45?
48-45.
You wanted to see a shootout? I recommend rewatching that game.
Yeah, very fun. So the college football championship is set. Georgia and Alabama, who both handled their business.
That was coming.
Handled their business. And does anybody give Georgia any chance?
Probably not.
Like, it should.
I'll be rooting for him.
Everyone, I think everyone outside of Tuscaloosa will be.
Probably, yeah.
But it's honestly, it's unreal because if there was ever a year, the way everything was going, you thought this is probably the year Alabama's not going to make it. We're having the conversation a few weeks ago. Hey, if Alabama doesn't win the SEC, which could happen, do you think they still get a playoff berth because they're Alabama? Well, obviously that didn't happen. And they are once again in the championship game. That game will be happening a week from today. So we will be getting you ready for that game next Monday. And I got to say right now, it's going to be Alabama. Maybe something happens in the next week. Hey, crazier things have happened. If somebody has COVID, if an outbreak happens and they don't play, guess what? One team just is awarded the championship. If both teams have issues, they just vacate the championship. How nuts would that be?
We have then seen it all.
Yeah, we have then absolutely seen it all. Before we get to picks, wanted to talk about this. It seems like Christian, we gotta stop doing this. Every week there's one of these. John Madden passed away, and I just wanted to take a minute or two here to just talk about everybody knows what Madden meant to football. I just wanted to kind of say what Madden meant to me, in a way, and it's just he is just one of those. It's synonymous with football, and in my experience of football, which from a young kid, very young, watching games for the first time, it's him and Pat Summerall. Those are the voices, ingrained like gods narrating the game, and you couldn't find a more perfect pair. Pat Summerall, who's calling the play like this, and so picks it off.
Calm.
Very calm all the time, and you've got John Madden, who's completely off the wall. It was a perfect pairing. And then
Pat Summerall, the man that witnessed the Patriots beat the greatest show on turf and pretended like it was just a summer day.
Yeah, no, exactly.
That was just his demeanor, and the two of them. Madden on the other side of it was like, I don't think they're doing the right thing here. They're just going back and forth. It was a perfect pair, like you said.
Well, and in that Super Bowl, just imagine the difference between go Pat Summerall, the pick six for Ty Law. His call is, and it's intercepted by Law, down the sideline. Touchdown Patriots. Yeah. That's it. That's the call. Imagine Al Michaels calling that, or Mike Tirico, what that would sound like.
A little more upbeat.
Now imagine Gus Johnson calling that.
Oh yeah, no, that's like out of the stadium type stuff.
So that's the spectrum. Gus Johnson would have pulled in Antonio Brown and just ran out of the broadcast.
He would have been done. Yeah.
So yeah. Anywho, so there's them just being the gatekeepers of the game, but in more ways than one. Madden football. Madden 2000. That was my first video game. For N64. And I think it was Summerall and Madden doing the voices on that.
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah.
So it's just his impact and legacy, and you wonder, kids the word Madden, do kids nowadays really know, what, why it's called Madden, who John Madden was, his face, his name, he's not on and part of the game like he was in those early days anymore. They started putting athletes on the cover. Yeah. But just that impact as far as bringing the game to the next generation, that impact was incredible. They did that documentary for him. I don't know if somebody just knew, guys, we might want to get on this. Impeccable timing.
Yeah. Right.
So obviously, younger than I thought. 85. I thought he was older. Just because, he retired from broadcasting in 2008. 13, 14 seasons ago, which, some of these guys hang on for forever. Hubie Brown is still going in the NBA. And he's still got it.
God, I know it. Yeah.
That man, he's like 90 something. He's got his fastball. So, it feels like he should have been older because he's just been out of the game for a while. But obviously, tremendous loss to the football world, but his impact is almost incalculable.
Oh, yeah. You kind of said it all, but, great guy for the game. Not only, I don't know, I feel like he kind of carried a lot in terms of, the video game is where he's known. But like you said, is it because of him? Or because nowadays it's the cover of athletes and all that, and it just goes by Madden. But Madden himself, you can clearly see how much he meant to the game.
Yeah. Pete in Kansas says, yes, but the player controls for those early Madden football games were easily manipulated by those who knew how. Yes, cheat codes. They're a wonderful thing for 10-year-olds.
N64 was a popular cheat code system, yeah.
Loaded with them. Colin says, Georgia is down one wide receiver to COVID. That put them over the edge. They're going to have to forfeit. Antonio Brown runs onto the field after leaving the Georgia admissions office. Now you've seen it all.
True. Yeah, he's not wrong.
Statistically improbable, not impossible. Statistically
Nothing is impossible.
improbable. Week 19 picks. The regular 19, 18. Right? Why am I confused? Why did I write 19?
You good over there? It's week 18 there.
All bumbalied. Week 18
I'm not
picks.
sure there is a week 19. Unless you're talking postseason. But anyway, moving on. Kansas City at Denver.
Man. Chiefs got to win. I mean, Chiefs are trying to...
Yeah, they got to win for number one. So
They want that number one seed. So, yes, I will say Kansas City.
This is Saturday games, people. Be on high alert for these. 4:30 and 8:15. Dallas at Philly.
Ooh. I'm actually going to pick the Eagles. I really just don't. I don't trust the Cowboys at all. I don't.
Good reason not to.
I picked them last week. Not really feeling good about them. Are they set in their position? Let me pull that sheet back up again.
I don't think so.
Are they set with where they are in the standings? Because if they don't have as much to play for now, the Eagles are in. But this is one of those like weird games where it's like both teams are in, and the Cowboys have won the division.
Yeah, I'm gonna give myself a headache, but no, they could jump Arizona if they win, and Tampa and the Rams lose. They could jump a couple spots there, depending on tiebreakers. It's just too much of a headache, but they're not locked into that spot.
Yeah. Well, they're the four. No, well, I don't think they can. Well, they could. They could fall. They're 4. They could fall to 5. They're either going to be. They could be 4 or 5. Yeah, they could be as high as the 2 seed. I don't know. I just don't. I can't go Dallas back to back now after I saw what they did last week, especially with the way Philly's talking about themselves, like, and the way they're playing. And they've been playing playoff football for like 7 weeks, and Dallas has not. So they're beating up on the ultra bad teams to get in. So I'm going Philly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas. Why not? Take the bait. Go down with the ship. Cleveland at Cincinnati.
Going down. I think you still got the lead here. 144 to 140. It's been a tight year. I'm
sorry, Cincinnati at Cleveland, actually.
Cincy at Cleveland.
I might have just said that. I don't know.
Nothing for the Browns to play for at all. Cincy riding high. I'm going to go Cincy still.
Same.
It'll probably be a butt ugly game, but I'm going to go Cincy.
Not just ugly, folks. Butt ugly. All right. Green Bay at Detroit.
Detroit. This is the Packers. I picked Minnesota last week for on a hunch. I picked Detroit last week because I thought that would be the perfect way to end Russell Wilson's time in Seattle. Obviously, they had other plans. So that's it, Detroit. That's the last above of my love you're going to get this year. So
yeah. I'm not taking the bait on that one. Green Bay. Chicago at Minnesota. Here's the week. I know what you did last week. You got mixed up. You thought the Packers were the Bears, and you thought that the Vikings were going to win this game. You mixed up your weeks. All is forgiven.
Bears impressed. Minnesota. I love the response from Mike Zimmer. You think about playing Kellen Mond? No. Why not? I've seen all I need to see.
Well then.
Okay. Yikes! This game. Ickety ick. If Kirk Cousins isn't playing again, but he should be cleared, right?
I would think so by then, yeah.
I'm very, very tentatively picking Minnesota. Gingerly picking them.
I'm gonna go with Chicago. Why not?
Chicago.
Both these teams kind of suck.
Chicago.
Oh, the football team staying in the New York area with Antonio Brown, and they're going to be playing the Giants.
Washington all the way. They at least compete. The Giants seem to not, even though Joe Judge says that he's really happy with the direction of the team and the guys they have in their locker room. And evidently players who have call him once a week and say they wish they were still there.
Yeah, sure you do there, buddy. Yeah, no, Washington. Indianapolis at Jacksonville.
Yeah, Indy.
Say less. Indy it is. Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Oof. Suckfest. Suck sauce.
I mean, what's our score right now, right? Where we at with this Steelers game? Steelers up 7-0.
Pittsburgh. On the 5-yard line as well, so
10:39 to go in the second quarter. So they will have something, because if they win, they're still alive. They'll have something to play for. I'm gonna say they might pull this game out. Giving themselves chaos, mathematical chance. So I'm gonna go Pittsburgh. Baltimore's just a wreck.
yeah, I don't like Baltimore right now. Pittsburgh all the way. Tennessee at Houston.
Like I said last week, as nice as it would be if the Atlanta Falcons could beat the Buffalo Bills, it would be great if the Texans could beat the Titans. They've pulled some upsets here down the stretch. Not this one. Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, I can't do it. Tennessee is kind of looking for that number 1 spot. I'm going Tennessee. New Orleans at Atlanta.
New Orleans, technically, are they in or are they still alive? They are in the hunt, right? Yes. So they need a win. Atlanta wants to go to vacation.
Mm-hmm.
So New Orleans.
Yep. Not going to be many differences this week, I don't think. New York at Buffalo.
I'm a broken record. As nice as it would be. Buffalo.
Buffalo. San Fran at Los Angeles. The Rams.
Scams. I'm going to go with Jimmy G and the Niners if Jimmy G plays. Now, the Niners are scrapping. The Rams they're limping along. I mean, I know they found a way yesterday, but I think the Niners desperate to stay in. Rams may kind of let off the gas, knowing that they're in.
Yeah, my only question is, what do the Rams do? I guess. Could they move any? I guess theoretically.
They are 12-4.
They gotta win this game to clinch the division. I'm going Rams. I think. Whatever. I don't know. I'm going Rams anyway.
Yeah.
I think I'm right. I usually am, so we'll go with it. Patriots at Miami.
This is, I mean, I did like that after the game yesterday, they asked people about, players about, clinching a playoff spot and excited, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, we still got one more game to play. And it was not a hat and t-shirt day yesterday. So obviously they're happy to be in the playoffs. Belichick said that. They asked him, are you happy? And he said, well, yeah, I mean, this is the goal. The goal is to play in the postseason. We're happy to be, earning that position. They want to win this game against Miami. The Patriots always try to close out. They have a chance to move up in their seeding. If there's like nothing that can change, sometimes you see them play a half and call off the dogs. There's a lot on the line for them, but I still think this is a tough spot because the Dolphins and Brian Flores had their playoff lives taken away last week, but will be more than happy to try and screw things up for the Patriots in Miami. Man, this is tough. What's the spread on this game? I really can't make up my mind because it could go either way.
It's got to be pretty close. See if we can find it real quick. It is currently a plus. New England's minus 6.5.
Wow, that's kind of surprising. Yeesh. I will take New England, but not feeling that great about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take New England. I don't know how good the Dolphins are. They got kind of smashed yesterday against a good team. And that was really their first big test. I picked them to win that game, but yeah, they just kind of got slapped around. So I find it hard to believe Miami's going to beat New England in this game, but I've seen crazier things. Seattle at Arizona.
Zona. Seattle, they had their nice moment last week, and now Arizona, like you said, the division's in play for them.
Yeah,
Arizona.
that'd be Arizona all the way. Carolina at Tampa.
Yes.
If Tampa plays their guys, I like Tampa. If Tampa doesn't play anybody, I like Tampa. So I'm gonna pick Tampa. Now this here is probably your game of the week. The Chargers at the Raiders. Raiders are at home in this game. Winners in, losers out.
Lack at LV. Man. I saw a little something in Derek Carr yesterday. You know, that team has gone through a whole heck of a lot. You hear some teams like the Bengals yesterday, everything we've gone through this year. I mean, Raiders have kind of had a lot more things going on between their coach,
Just
players on their team, and that team is somehow stuck with it. Chargers have kind of had that same up and down. Every time you think that they're ready, they're not. And so I believe a little bit in Derek Carr right now, in that team. So I'm gonna go Las Vegas.
This is gonna come as a shock, but I'm going Chargers.
Yeah. Herbie.
I like that char. Hopefully they're in the powder blues. That's gonna carry him to victory. I think the Raiders suck.
Oh God. Is that it?
That is the end of the regular season, my friend.
So 4 games on the line. So I could either tie you, or you could expand your lead, or I could cut into your lead a little bit. But Dallas at Philly, Chicago at Minnesota, San Fran at Los Angeles Rams, and Los Angeles at Las Vegas. Comment section to round things out here. Colin, rest in peace, John Madden. I never played football as a kid. I learned the game and its players from the video game and his commentary. He also says, LOL, Peyton Manning to Roger Goodell just now on Monday Night Football. Would you be more comfortable if we just booed you tonight to, just get you in the mood?
Nice troll there, Peyton.
Also, apparently, Antonio Brown is at the Nets game.
Yeah, I just saw a screenshot of this on Twitter. He is sitting in the front row with someone, so he must not be on the team because he is still in New York.
Still in New York.
What if maybe the Nets will sign him?
Yeah, put him. The fact that him and Kyrie are occupying. Well, no, because they're in New York, so he's not there. Imagine. Has anybody actually ever seen Antonio Brown and Kyrie Irving in the same room?
That would be too much IQ and intellectual power. I think the world would end if that happened.
Maybe they share a brain. They go home and
Possible.
and just.
They are truly the leaders of the simulation that we are currently in right now.
It's the simulation. You hear Chase Winovich on 98.5 The Sports Hub today?
No, I didn't.
Oh, they got right
He's
into
big
it.
on simulation.
Very little football talk, a whole lot of conspiracy theories, and we're all living in a simulation, and the odds, and yeah, it was just quite a riot.
Oh, good.
I mean, not much football to talk about with Chase. He has not seen the field.
40% of the
much.
snaps yesterday, though.
Better. You're playing the Jaguars. Who?
Yeah, that's true. And also, Judon was off COVID. So.
Last thing to just kind of round out about that. What do you think? What is Jacksonville going to do? I mean, I think you clearly see the talent that Trevor Lawrence has, but I have almost zero faith in them being able to put a team around him and get a coach. I just don't. I don't have faith in it. So he's either going to be a bust or he's going to be a Ryan Tannehill, and he'll flourish somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like he needs to get out of Jacksonville. That's kind of my thoughts on what they're going to do. Trade Trevor Lawrence so he can be freed.
Yeah. Hashtag free Trevor Lawrence. Let me just peruse. We do have many podcast listeners through Sounder FM or wherever you get your podcasts from. And if you guys want to reach us, podcast listeners, we appreciate you. You can drop us an email, the360sportshow@gmail.com if you want to reach us there. And we do indeed have a note here in the email. No, it does not say from whom. Just Mac Jones, just a young Eli Manning without the rings. Jacksonville, the worst franchise in the NFL. Alabama would beat them. Cowboys suck too, though, so I don't have a pot to pee in. From someone in Connecticut. So appreciate
Thank you, Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous, visitor 8723. Thank you for finding us. Would you agree with that right now? With that assessment? Mac Jones is just Eli Manning. Obviously, he hasn't won any rings yet, but that's the. If Mac Jones, how about look at it this way? If Mac Jones is Eli Manning, I think that's a win, right? Top 15 pick turns into a franchise quarterback for 12 years.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially when you consider the coaching and the situation around him. I think Eli Manning was in kind of a crappy situation for
The
how many
tail
years?
end.
When he got into the postseason, though, he was pretty damn good. I mean, he was really good 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think you take that all day. I think it's a little too early to compare him to anybody.
Yeah.
He's in year one, but sure.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
would absolutely take 2 rings and because I don't think you're gonna have the down years here that you did in New York. So yeah, give me Eli Manning all day.
Yeah. And speaking of Eli Manning, it did remind us, did you see the helmet catch in that Cardinals-Cowboys game?
I did not.
Oh, you did not see this?
I did not see this.
Oh, we will end the show with this on a good note.
Yeah, I think everything filled up with Antonio Brown stuff yesterday, so that's probably why I missed it.
Let's see. Where is it? Oh, come on. Okay. Had to find. Well, evidently this is from like NFL Brazil, but it's going to have to do because it's the perfect angle. Here we go. Hold on. Efforting this to close out the show here today. So the Cardinals ran a fake punt. And it was an absolutely horrible play until it wasn't. There was pass interference called, so it would have been a first down anyways. They would have gotten bailed out. But the up man, they snapped it to the up guy, and he like rolled right and then threw an absolutely lame duck. But here you go, Christian. Here's the catch. Snagged one hand, pins it to the other guy's helmet, going to the ground, still not on the ground, still not, upside down, flipped around, and he's pinning it to like the guy's back now. Catch.
Pretty legit. Wow.
Like
That's incredible.
strong hand. I would say strong hands, strong hand. But look at that. He's upside down. Bananas.
Ridiculous.
Absolutely bananas.
They gotta change those helmets, make them like more round, so you can't pin a football to them or something. Make them
Yeah.
square. How about that? There
Yeah,
you go.
for those once
Triangle.
once
Make
in
'em
a
triangle.
triangular. You know,
Hey, you ever seen David Tyree catch a ball?
can we not?
Sorry.
We're ending on a good note, Christian. Why do you got to do this?
Sorry.
Anywho's, that is the show, folks. We will catch you next Monday at 7:30. If you missed some of the show, you can go back and rewatch on any of our platforms, or you can take us on the go with the podcast through Sounder FM or wherever you get your podcast from. Thank you to everybody who joined in tonight on the live stream in the comment section. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next Monday for College Football Championship Monday.